Another great day for Savvy Social Saturday, and we are asking the question today. Have you heard of the Tour of Joy? Yes, Tour of Joy. Are you intrigued? And let me know if you want the Tour of Joy to come to your city. We have the founder and president of the Joy First Foundation joining us today for Savvy Social Saturday, and her name is Kate McGlynn, aka Katy BEE, as we affectionately know her. And she's going to be talking to us about how she started the Joy First Foundation. And she's starting up her fall season. So if there's a city that you want Tour of Joy to appear, let us know in the comments. And right now, we want to hear from you. What makes you savvy? Please watch this video clip to hear what the acronym stands for. And stick around to watch Katie's interview. Excellent. Now you know that SAVVY stands for your skills and attributes, values, victorious moments and celebrations, and young at heart activities. Please put in the comments because this is the perfect opportunity to help you connect with other people by giving them some insight into you and to build your LinkedIn network. So please type in what makes you savvy, and you too may be a guest on the next episode. So it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you today Kate McGlynn, aka Katy BEE, and we have become friends through AATH, which stands for the Association for Applied Therapeutic Humor. She and I started in our Humor Academy cohort at the same time. We're getting ready here in a few weeks to go to Mesa, Arizona and graduate from level 1 and embark on level 2. And she's just so ahead of the class, embarking on her project already, and creating these spontaneous, joyful moments with everyone she meets. So just a little bit about Katy for you. And she is the owner of Katy BEE LLC Entertainment Company, as well as the founder, president of the Joy First Foundation. So before creating her nonprofit, Katy trained as a professional clown, life coach, circus performer, and a live and technology-based entertainer. She's very active in applied improvisation, AATH, of course, the Global Play Brigade, and she's an associate of the East Side Institute that's based in New York, specializing in play therapeutics. So Katy started the Joy First Foundation because she saw a need after COVID and our political climate for people to be recognized for having survived the pandemic and simply for being human and appreciating them for their time here on Earth. So please, everyone, help me welcome Katy BEE to our Savvy Social Saturday Live, and put your hands together and welcome her here. Welcome, Katy BEE.
Hi, hello. I'd like to give you some joy. Just a little bit.
I will gladly receive that joy. Yay! Awesome. It is so wonderful to have you visit Jacksonville twice now on the Tour of Joy. I feel so privileged. I made it to the second time city tour. Excellent. And one thing I love about you is that you are totally mobile. You're in your Joy Mobile. You've
I
got this
am.
amazing van, and you're surrounded by all your props and fun goodies.
Yes, you can see ears above me, guitars behind me, other things, clothing. You can see many things. There's a lot in here. There's random clown noses everywhere.
Everywhere Katy goes, she always leaves you behind a little present. And my favorite present that she has left me is this kazoo. And there's something magical about this kazoo. I've learned to have a better appreciation for it. It helps me, just be playful and have my inner child come out.
Yeah, it's really important. We forget that as we get older, that we have to be mature. But it's really healing to let yourself be a kid every now and again, right?
I'm still in practice and training. And speaking of props, I just love having these play dates with you in real life. I mean, that's a big part of, when you're building relationships online, to find ways in which you can meet up in person. So I'm very appreciative every time that you come in to visit. And we're going to Mesa soon, but I feel like we've had our own like mini pre-conference, like powwow.
Yes, it's been amazing. It's always amazing to be with you in any way, online, in person. Olivia, you're such an amazing, joyful being yourself.
Thank you, thank you. And what is it that you say? Levity is a part of being human.
Oh
I,
yeah, levity
I
is a
heard you say that.
huge part of being human. Huge. We need levity. It's healing, it's grounding, it's bonding. I mean, the science is showing us how important it is. We got to bring it back.
Indeed. And so you've helped me to do that, by I collect now these like fun hats to wear and my glasses, of course, and I have all these fun toys now, thanks to you.
Yay.
Yay. So I want to hear from you. What made you decide to do a nonprofit? I know you've had a business, you're still in business, but what was the decision to go from a business to a nonprofit? Or, what surprised you the most about creating a nonprofit? And did you feel like it was time?
I worked with nonprofits in the past. I created festivals that fed the homeless. We'd take over city blocks in San Francisco or, things, and I'd create these entities that would be underneath 501c3 so that we could get donations for the homeless and for the events that we were producing. And I knew one day I would have a nonprofit. I didn't know when. But I was online with the Global Play Brigade and Voices of Peace, these organizations that asked me to create support sessions for Ukrainian refugees. And as we were doing this, at one point during a meeting, somebody said, "Oh, we need to create an NGO." And I just happened to have had a meditation that morning where all I could hear was joy first, joy first, joy first. So when Elena from Russia brought up that idea to start a nonprofit, I said, "Oh, I already have the name of it. And yeah, let me see how easy it is to do." And what happened is, I think it was in 2014, um, the federal government in the US made it easier to create a nonprofit. So there are some limitations, but instead of having it be a 6 month process and 40 pages of documents, it was a 2 month process. It was all online. It was relatively inexpensive. It was a 3 page form. And the limits are that Joy First in the first 3 years is limited to receiving $50,000 in grants or funding, and that's not hard because we're just getting started, and we're still looking for funding to be able to continue going on. But we are an official 501c3 organization, and anything that we do get in donations is tax deductible, and we are incredibly grateful for. So, so yeah, starting a nonprofit is not as hard as it used to be, and it's very accessible and a quick process. You don't need a lawyer; you can do it yourself. This is new in the past few years. So, and it's been great so far.
Oh, I'm so glad that it was accessible to start a nonprofit for you. Excellent. So it wasn't as hard. Okay. You just have to go through paperwork, I imagine.
A little bit. Yeah, not too bad though. I mean, you create an entity like you do in your state, like you would an LLC or any other organization, and you go from there and take that to the Fed uh, websites and fill that in, pay a fee, and and then wait a couple of months.
So what's next for you now? Are you looking to get more grants, or, how are you doing the
Yes, we
funding?
we need grants and funding. Um, I did a big push in the very beginning, and we raised enough money to start the Tour of Joy, and get us to Arizona. But we need more funding, because this is something that is very close to my heart, and uh, every bit of feedback that we've gotten, whether it's you as a Joy ambassador, whether it's other people that have been Joy ambassadors and witnessed what's going on here, it's really needed. And it's amazing when someone says, "I didn't even know I needed that." It's just really beautiful to fill that gap, to open that door. I call it a crack in the door, to bring that little bit of light, to remind us all that we're just here to have an earthly experience. Let's have it together. We don't need all these other things to divide us. Let's just have our earthly experience here together and enjoy it and bring each other joy.
Yes, earthly experience together. And you can follow all of Katy B's adventures on the Tour of Joy on the LinkedIn page. So there is a Joy First Foundation. So please go over there. The link is on the screen and give her a follow. And you're also very prevalent on, TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. So you can't miss it. And so it's a lot of fun to be able to witness. I think it just makes me smile that you're able to bring such light and laughter to people around you. And we have the question on the screen. So if you want to sponsor your city to be on the Tour of Joy tour in the fall season, let us know. I think Katy B would love to hear from you. And we have the website link for you in just a few minutes, in which you can just scan the QR code and be taken to that page. So, how did this concept of the Tour of Joy come about? How did you envision it in the very beginning, and how has it unfolded for you? Were there some things that surprised you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been on the road a long time as an entertainer. I toured Europe, and I toured backstage with Cirque du Soleil, and then toured the U.S. Doing theater in elementary schools. So I'm really used to being on the road. And I was looking at ways to be on the road and experiment with this idea of, I'm a clown, and I'm a laughter yogi, and I'm a coach. And how do I bring my stuff to people in need while I'm on the road? So I got on the road, and in a very small 8-foot trailer, and started giving out clown noses even before any of this was a seed in my mind. I would meet veterans, and I'd give them clown noses and talk about the work I do with veterans in Michigan, with the Michigan Warrior Clowns, and Patch Adams, and VA hospitals, and the American Legion. I mean, that's been before COVID, and during COVID, that was a pretty big focus. And how does this work? Well, I started experimenting, and then I went to the AATH conference, and I came back fired up. And as I continued to be on the road, I started these emotional support sessions online for Ukrainian refugees, and ended up also connecting with African refugees. And my sessions were meditation, laughter, movement, fun, play, gibberish, language free with some language, depending on who was in the room. And when I thought about being on the road, I thought, well, now I want to do this experiment. What happens if I spend all my time on the road? I can perform and offer these moments of joy, depending on the situation, for all communities. So I've done 3-hour clown visits with juggling and hula hoop show and face painting and glitter tattoos, for domestic violence shelters where the moms and the kids had just left the dangerous situation. I also did that for a senior center. And those are the bigger joyful moments. These are the plan ahead joyful moments. These, I can't just walk in the door and expect that I'm going to get 3 hours of time with the people that are interested in enjoying this. So some are spontaneous, some are a farmer's market, and it's like an instinct that says that person needs a moment. So I walk up, I offer them a little bit of joy and start there and give a standing ovation. And that was the pattern for a while. And then I ended up at a friend's house when they needed help the most. And I won't get into all their details, but I ended up sort of being their chef and a coach and their cleaning lady and their support system for 2 weeks while they were dealing with some hard stuff. And the feedback was, this is exactly what we needed. It's uncanny how you ended up here right now, right when we needed it. And then it turned into, now it's sort of whatever spontaneously appears to be needed from somebody, wherever I happen to be. So I've helped, I know technology. So I helped someone with their RV, learning how to use their RV technology because I happened to be camping there and they needed help. Another veteran who needed some support, who maybe just needed some different colored lenses to look through. And we had a long discussion, and now he's all fired up about what he can be doing for others. And so, maybe we just need a momentary change of lens. And then we can take that new lens and go out into the world with that new perspective. So it's changed a lot. And I suspect it's going to continue to change because my next steps are presenting at the Association of Applied and Therapeutic Humor and the Association of the Study of Play in New York. I'll be presenting to both of those conferences and also meeting up with the international class in New York at the East Side Institute, hopefully. And so these things are all part of what's going to affect and change and morph and bring more spontaneity and more opportunities to the Tour of Joy.
It is one big long experiment.
Yes.
And I love what you said about momentarily changing your lenses. And I have different pairs of glasses all the time, to fit my mood and my style. And there's something to be said about, just shifting perspective for just a moment. So I love that you offer that. And as someone that saw you in the beginning of the tour and now coming through again, things have definitely morphed all for the better. And we're constantly learning. I'm constantly learning from you. I consider you my humor mentor. And, the first time around, we were just out and about in the city, going up to random people and learning to approach them and talking to them. And it surprised me, like when we did a survey asking people what do they want more of, like a reward, a clapping ovation, or recognition. Off the charts, people said they wanted the recognition. They wanted the clapping ovation. They had us. We busted out our clappers and gave them a clapping ovation, and it just touched my heart. Like wow, like people. I mean, it may seem like we want the external rewards and we're chasing after that, but at the end of the day, like, we just want that recognition and that someone cares and someone is asking after us.
Yes.
That was very impactful. And then this time around, the situation came up where, joy doesn't have to be all fun and bubbly all the time, right? You can find joy even in maybe some serious moments. And I had a neighbor that's going through a tough time. Like she was grieving the loss of her mom, and it's very raw, very recent. And I invited you over to meet that neighbor, just maybe to give her some comfort and solace. And that was amazing to witness too. And somehow, like just through your instinctive, I think because of all the training that you've had throughout your life that led you to this moment of the foundation and the tour of joy, that you were able to tap into your instincts and just pick up the right song and do the right demo and say the right things to that, to my friend and her family.
Yeah, some of it is past experience, cultural knowledge, a little bit, but those are assumptions. And so I try not to come from assumption. I try and kind of turn the doorknob and listen, right? because we forget to listen to each other. And when we listen, we either get acknowledgement, we're going in the right direction, or not. And I'm very aware if the direction is not the correct direction, how to shift gears. That probably comes from being a street performer and, being a clown for kids. I always told the parents, if the kids aren't buying what I'm selling, I'm going to change what I'm doing until I have their attention. I don't want to lose their attention. And so some of that's just a lot of years of practice. Listening. Listening.
I would say you do more than that. I mean, you're turning the doorknob, you're poking your head in, open the door just a little crack, and I see you've done it like in a respectful manner way. So I think that's one of the topics that came out of a discussion, like, because we'll debrief and recap afterwards. It's like, yeah, like, how do we introduce joy respectfully? And you've come up with a really cool acronym for that, so I can't wait for you to talk about that in your presentation. Hopefully we will get a sneak peek of it at AATH. All right. And, I think what you've said just now about the listening skills and your experience as a street performer and circus acts, etc., has really built up this unique repertoire of skills. And that's exactly where we're headed now with the S.A.V.V.Y acronym. I mean, you listed out all your skills, and it was just so incredible to see. Sometimes when I ask this question, what makes you savvy? People have a hard time coming up with just one. And my intention for them is, to come up with at least five for each of those categories. So that way they sort of have this reference list, their reference list of awesomeness that they can refer to. And so you've just gone above and beyond with your acronym, and I love it. So you've included like the circus skills, group dynamics, entertainment, public speaking, listening skills, and fitness fun. You actually do make fitness really fun because we did Kundalini yoga this morning. We did the frog pose. And we were
Yes.
giggling and ribbiting. We're like, ribbit at the end. It was so funny.
Yeah, the cow giggles.
The cow giggles.
Cow giggles. Moo.
And I love how you're just combining all of those experiences that you've had and your skills into making the tour of joy, right? I think for a long time you wanted to do like joyful yoga. And I said, well, why not? Let's just test it right now. Like, let's make a little video segment and you can introduce that, because there are days when I know that you need to replenish for yourself as well because you're so giving of others. Excellent. And so moving on to your positive attributes, you've mentioned here resilience. I've definitely seen you with just being life on the road, right? Life on the road, your house is on wheels. Like, that alone will make you resilient. And you're always like figuring things out and wanting to learn new things about how to make it work, how to be self-sufficient. That's something I hear you talk a lot about. So strength and work ethic, trying to be an elevator for others. I love that imagery. You elevate us. Raising our Kundalini energy. And of course, this is no surprise. Your core values include love and joy, inclusion. I think that's phenomenal. Inclusion, creativity, and fun. You've had so many fantastic pivotal moments of your career, but I think the one victorious moment that stood out for you was getting that call to say, hey, we want you in the halftime show at Pro Bowl 2009. And that was right after Enrique Iglesias and Ciara.
We were right behind them. We were on bungee. So we were jumping and doing acrobatics all behind them while they were singing with like all the hula dancers and all the other performers. But 100,000 people. I don't know how to top that.
Is there footage of that? Like, will I be able to grab footage of that somewhere? Can we see that in action?
There is footage. We are very small and a little bit hard to see, right? Because it was quite a spectacle. But I have some pictures of rehearsals that are cool. They look cool because the Marines are lifting us up into our harnesses and we're clipping it. We're about to start the acrobatic part.
That's awesome. Can you still recall the feeling of being in front of 100,000 people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We met the Warriors cheerleaders in Warriors Stadium in Honolulu. And yes, I remember when we walked out, because I hired a friend of mine and together we designed the show and performed it. And I remember when we arrived in the stadium to see where we were going to be performing, and it was this, mind blowing moment. And the ukulele I got there is right behind me.
Everything is within reach. I love it.
Yes.
Everything's within reach. And I love what you wrote here for young at heart activities. I think you always tell me, like, Olivia, young up versus grow up, young up, young up. And so you embody that. You embody such youthful energy. And, it comes from traveling, being on the road. It comes from being spontaneous and exercising, kayaking, paddleboarding, biking, sewing, creating goofy videos. I love your goofy videos. Those Snapchat filters are the best.
Yes. So
Awesome.
fun.
Oh my gosh, Katy, this has been a pleasure just to have this one-on-one time with you and introducing you to the amazing world of LinkedIn. And hopefully, if you're watching this, please reach out to Katy. Katy, what is your savvy match? Like, who would you be most interested in connecting with?
Right now, it would be amazing to connect with donors, people that are interested in watching this grow. I really need a builder on the board. I don't have one yet. This can be scaled, and I'm going to be looking for and teaching joy ambassadors like you, Olivia. I'm creating what that process is right now, and that'll be something I'm presenting to the Association of the Study of Play and a little bit at the Applied and Therapeutic Humor conference as well. But a builder is someone who would help me learn how to scale and work to scale this so that we can also raise the grant money. But right now, in order to find a builder, in order to find and keep going with everything that we've been doing and find all the new avenues, sponsors and donors would really be helpful. And your donation is tax deductible. It's an official federal 501c3 organization. The tour will continue through these conferences to the East Coast, back to Michigan with the Michigan Warrior Clowns. We're setting up with the American Legion to work more with the Michigan Warrior Clowns. I'm also going to be going overseas with Clowns Without Borders when they call. And I'm just about to be in Traverse City, July 6th and 7th for the Cherry Festival. You'll see me face painting about 300 children a day. So
Oh my gosh, 300 children or the face painting? Ah, I don't know how you do it. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, so we're looking for sponsors, donors, builders, and joy ambassadors. So join the
yes,
movement. Excellent. And, it takes a village. It really does take a mobile village to carry this forward. So please help Katy get through Arizona, get through New York, and you can sign up to be a sponsor so that Tour of Joy can come to your city. So I'm going to flash her LinkedIn profile here on the screen. So please do reach out and connect with Katy. And then please, we'll go on over to the Joy First Foundation page and give them a follow as well too. So there you have it. All right.
yes. And
And
you can donate one time for a joyful moment for someone. You'll see if there's a drop down menu you can choose, or you can donate monthly and subscribe and be a monthly donor to help support the tour. And be aware, I've been very conservative with the funds that we've gotten so far. So it's not going for just anything. It's going specifically to joyful moments that generally include a nose. Just saying.
and if you want to customize a joyful moment with Katy, that's available too.
Yes.
So
Oh,
we're going
yes.
to go quiet so you can scan the QR code. Awesome. I've learned that, captions will cover that up. So at least we gave it some time for people to scan. Excellent. So in closing, Katy, I'd love to do that Kundalini exercise we did just now with Satnam. And I'd love for you to tell everyone what the Satnam stands for because this is really fun to learn today.
So Satnam is a closing mantra, but it's also a mantra that you can use generally. And it is, the translation is, the truth is my identity. And so if we all look towards truth, we find our truth. And we take a big inhale and a long sat and a short nam. Sat nam. 3 times. Sat nam. One more time. Sat nam. Namaste, Olivia.
Namaste. Awesome. Again, such a pleasure to have you here on Savvy Social Saturday. And if all of you are watching, thank you for watching this. And please go comment and share, connect, and collaborate. And if you have it in your heart to donate, do that too. So tune in next week for another fabulous guest. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.